Welcome back to Normal Baseball's 2023 Will Be series. Today we got the Minnesota Twins. Let's get into it. What is going on? Welcome back to the Normal Baseball 2023 Will Be Team Projection Series. Today we will be previewing the Minnesota Twins for the 2023 season. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That's Lewis. And let's get into it. The Minnesota Twins. So before we started these a couple weeks ago, we ranked every team in MLB. We did a power ranking, and our system was we graded them 1 to 10 on 7 different categories: lineup, bench, defense, rotation, bullpen, coaching, and energy. And we totaled their scores and power ranked them from highest to lowest. The Minnesota Twins, who we are talking about today, we calculated as the 12th best team in baseball and the 6th best team in the American League. The Minnesota Twins.
The Minnesota Twins.
First of all, let's talk about somehow got Carlos Correa back.
Mind-boggling.
When he signed that contract before last season, we all thought it's just going to be a one-season thing. He's going to go there, come out, and get that big contract, which he did. He did get a big contract.
Twice.
He got 3 big contracts. He got one from the Giants, which fell through. Got one from the Mets, which also fell through. And then the Twins gave him 6 years, $200 million with a couple options at the end of it. Very exciting for Carlos Correa. I'm excited to see him back in Minnesota rather than with just like one of those kind of Mets super teams, you know. I'm excited to see him try to do his best in Minnesota once again and try to win a championship.
Yeah.
But yeah. So do we want to just get into the rankings?
Of course. So go ahead and lead us off with the lineup, Alex. Tell them.
So their lineup, we gave them out of 10. We gave them a 7.3 on their lineup. Their lineup is looking like Byron Buxton in center field, Carlos Correa at shortstop, Jorge Polanco at second base, Max Kepler in right field, Jose Miranda at third, Joey Gallo in left, Alex Kirilloff at first, Christian Vasquez catching, and Nick Gordon DHing. A lot of different guys that could be in that lineup. We just are using the Fangraphs projected. We'll talk about the other guys when we get to their bench. But as far as their starting lineup goes, I have one major concern, and that is Byron Buxton staying healthy all season.
Nope, I would agree with you.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to stay healthy at all during his career. We just talked about it. He played 100-plus games in his career once, and he's played 8 years in the majors. So I think a lot of the Twins' success this year will be based on Byron Buxton being able to stay healthy and play good.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about their lineup? I want to say one thing when you're done.
I like it. I think it, barring everybody staying healthy, it looks pretty good. I do think that they will miss out on having that Luis Arias within that lineup to bat like 300 plus and really be a difference maker, a guy that can move the chains. However, I'm looking forward to seeing what this lineup is capable of, because they did make a few moves during the offseason that can definitely affect how their lineup looks and what they're going to be doing, that type of thing.
Yeah, I even put they made some underrated moves this offseason that we will talk about when we get to their bench, I'd say. Christian Vasquez was one of the moves that they made. Very good catcher, especially on the defensive side of the ball. He will be a very good starter all year. I like that move from them. Joey Gallo is a move that a lot of people were like, oh, the shift is being banned. This is going to be such a good big move. But we just saw it yesterday, how teams are going to shift it on Joey Gallo now. They are going to literally bring their left fielder or their center fielder to play where that second baseman would normally play in the shallow right field territory. So Joey Gallo is probably screwed this season too, unless he can literally, when you think about it, if he learns to hit the ball to right field, to left field, my bad. If he learns to hit the ball to left field, he can hit it right over the left side of the infield's heads. He's golden for a double or a triple every single time he does that.
Oh yeah. I just hope that. First off, let me just say that shift that Joey Gallo has faced a few times during spring training is not baseball. Like, that is so, like, bush league. And if you're that worried about Joey Gallo hitting a single, like, come on now. What are we doing?
Well, they don't. I mean, I understand. It's the same reason they shifted him in their goal is to not have players get hits. That's the goal of the defense.
But now they're openly sacrificing an actual position, whereas, the second baseman still played. Like, at least he was still fielding the position of second base. Like, he was ready for a ground ball.
Well, yeah, but
but he's just deeper.
Yeah, but you sacrifice the shortstop or the third baseman because they also move to the right side of the infield. So you're sacrificing a position no matter what.
Well, they can't move to the right side of the
infield. Well, now they can't. But I'm saying last season they were still sacrificing a position.
Yeah,
that's how the shift works.
It's so not baseball. I'm not a fan of it, and I hope that as the season progresses, Joey Gallo can learn to hit the ball the other way, because if that shift just doesn't look right, and I trust Joey Gallo to figure it out, and with a fresh start in Minnesota, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I think what they should have done with the banning of the shift is they also not just have infielders have to be on two infielders on each side of the bag. I think you should have to have at least one outfielder on each side of the field.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to have three outfielders on the right side of the field, just shifting against the guy. So I think if they did it for infielders, why wouldn't they have done it for outfielders too? Doesn't really make much sense to me. But I hate it for Joey Gallo, and I think what the Twins were doing, trying to sign him, with that in mind, that the shift will be banned this season. Hopefully he can do some stuff with it. Now kind of goes in the bin because teams are just literally going to be bringing their left fielder to play that second base shallow position. But we'll see what Joey Gallo can do this season. In terms of Carlos Correa, I think Correa is going to have an amazing year.
Oh, yeah.
That whole injury thing, I think it was very twisted by a lot of people. A lot of different doctors had a lot of different opinions. I think he will be okay. And I think he's going to have a really good season this year. So I hope he does. And I hope he proves Mets fans and Giants fans and the Mets organization and the Giants organization that, hey, you guys made a mistake by not signing me. And now I'm going to be in Minnesota. I'm going to be that guy here and instead of on your team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Carlos Correa will have another superstar year. He is a superstar in this league, and I think he's more than deserved the opportunity to sign all those contracts. And it's good to see that he was still able to find a home and that it didn't shoo away anybody from signing Carlos Correa because he is such a talent in our league.
Yeah, and the thing with the Twins signing him is that, apparently they just went to a bunch of different doctors. Apparently the Mets and the Giants were going to the same doctor. And it's of course the same doctor's going to give you the same opinion. Apparently the Twins went to a lot of different doctors, and they determined that he would pass the physical. So,
it was just a weird situation. They signed him. He's currently the highest paid player on their team, doubling Buxton's amount per year. Right now, this year, Carlos Correa is going to be making $32 million. Do you think that he plays more than 130 games this season?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. I also think the same thing as well. Last season he played 136. So I'm going to believe in him and believe in his health and believe that he will play a very good amount of this season because he is Carlos Correa. Yeah.
And on the other side of the infield, Jorge Polanco, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do this season. He had a little bit of a down year last season, or it feels like he hasn't been as good as we know he possibly can be. I'd like to see him have a good season, kind of bounce back. And if this team can all click at the same time, it's going to be very dangerous. We're big fans of positivity here.
Oh, yeah.
We look for if everyone clicks at the same time. We want the ideal situation is every team in baseball to be competitive, every team in baseball to be their best version of themselves, so we can have the most competitive baseball we've ever seen, which is what we want. But Jorge Polanco, I would like to see him do better. Nick Gordon is another guy who had a pretty good season last year. He played 138 games and he batted 275. He put together a nice season. So, or 272. My bad. 272. But put together a good season.
Yeah,
very quality. Good. So yeah. Do we want to get in their bench? Because I feel like getting into their bench would help because a lot of their bench players are very well could also be starters.
Yeah, so go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah, their bench, we gave them a 6.4 out of 10. Their bench is looking like Ryan Jeffers, Kyle Farmer, Donovan Solano, and Michael A. Taylor. I think the Michael A. Taylor move, they got him in a trade with the Royals. I think that Michael A. Taylor move was very good.
Good insurance for Buxton.
Good insurance for Buxton. Not only that, but he is also one of the best defensive outfielders in the game of baseball. Very overlooked and underrated. Yes, his bat isn't amazing, but I think that the defense, him being one of the best defensive center fielders in baseball, really makes up for it. That's where my kind of 6.4 makes sense to me, because then you look at the other guys and it's like Ryan Jeffers hasn't lived up to expectations that we thought he would a few years ago, or a couple years ago rather. Kyle Farmer, they got in a trade from the Reds. Kyle Farmer is a good guy to have on your bench.
Yeah, great backup. Can play, I believe it's first, second, third. He can't really play short.
He can play short, yeah.
Can he? Oh, yeah, so he can just play the infield. And he's a great option if they needed to go to someone off their bench to play the infield. Definitely a good pickup.
Yeah, he was the shortstop in Cincinnati. So
was he?
Yeah, I believe so. So he's more than willing to play any infield position. Donovan Solano's another just infield kind of guy. They got him in free agency, but he was on their team last year, so I think that's a pretty good pickup as well. You might as well have that guy on your bench. He can hit. So you have that bat there, and I like their bench. 6.4 might even be a little low, if I'm being honest, but it's a very good bench. So yeah.
As for the next part, we gave their defense a 9.
Defense 9 out of 10. Highest we've seen so far? I believe so, by a lot, yeah.
But when you're talking about having a defense of Buxton, Correa, Jorge Polanco.
Buxton and Correa kind of, and then you have Michael A. Taylor.
Michael A. Taylor, yeah.
Who is the best one of the best defensive outfielders. Carlos Correa is a platinum glover. Mm-hmm. Byron Buxton is one of the best center fielders defensively in baseball when he's healthy, that is. Even a guy like Gallo is really not bad at defense at all. Vasquez is a good defender. I just think overall this team has a lot of good defense, and they have a lot of potential. Carried a lot by that Carlos Correa, that Michael A. Taylor, that Byron Buxton. But when you really look at it, a lot of good defense on this team. Jorge Polanco is not the best defender, but I think a lot of the other aspects make up for it.
Oh, yeah. They will be nothing shy when it comes to defense. I think they're going to be just A-okay, which is why we gave them a 9. As for their rotation, we gave them an 8 out of 10 for their rotation. So their rotation is looking like Pablo Lopez, Sonny Gray, Joe Ryan, Tyler Mahle, and Kenta Maeda. Very solid rotation, especially after trading for Pablo Lopez, who is projected to be their number 1 starter.
Yeah, Pablo Lopez, they got him in the trade from the Marlins. They got rid of Luis Arias, which little controversial, but they did get a guy like Pablo Lopez who started 32 games last season, had a 3.75 ERA, has potential to be even better. I think with the right continuous development, he can be even better than that. I like him on this team. And yeah, I'm interested to see how he plays on this team this season, especially in a division like the AL Central, which isn't the most amazing division in baseball. So for going from the NL East with those really good teams in the NL East to the AL Central with not as good teams, I think we'll be seeing a Pablo Lopez masterclass this season. Yeah. And then even the rest of their rotation, Tyler Mahle, they got him at the trade deadline last year. And he's a very underrated pitcher. I think he will be very good next season. Joe Ryan, same thing. He was part of Cy Young talks in the beginning of last season. He was that guy. Sonny Gray just kind of seems like he came out of nowhere. He had a great season for the Reds in 2021, and then came to the Twins in 2022, and also had a really good season. So I love this rotation. I think they're gonna be very dominant in the AL Central this season.
Yeah. Looking forward to watching them pitch, and we do have to just mention that Chris Paddock, who was traded for early last season, he did undergo Tommy John surgery in May of last year, so I don't know. We'll probably see him maybe after the All-Star break come back, if they even need a sixth starter, because right now it seems pretty solid, but we'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah, we'll definitely be seeing how he kind of turns out, but we still have a long way to go for that. So I think it's better to look at what they have now starting. But once he does come back, their rotation will be even better if they choose to put him in there. So Chris Paddock. Sure. My only thoughts is Kenta Maeda has gotten a little worse over the past couple of years, or at least since he was a Dodger. Last season, 2020 didn't pitch much. He did not pitch in 2022, so I'm interested to see how he comes back and kind of plays this season after not pitching for an entire year. So
okay, all right.
And in 2021, when he pitched in 21 starts, he did have a 4.66 ERA. So I think Kenta Maeda is a toss-up. Hopefully he can come back and be that stud that he was on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That would be great.
So, yeah. If we want to move on to their bullpen, the other side of their pitching, we gave their bullpen a 8.3 out of 10. It's a good bullpen.
Yeah. You want to rattle it off?
Yeah, I'll rattle it off quick. They have Jorge Lopez and Johan Duran, two high-level closers. Griffin Jacks, Caleb Thielbar, Emilio Pagan, Jorge Alcala, Jovani Moran, I apologize if I said that wrong, and Dennis Santana, who they got off waivers from the Braves this season. Johan Duran is absolutely dominant. I am so excited to watch another season of Johan Duran. He has some of the most nasty stuff I've ever seen.
Power pitcher, Jorge Lopez, another guy who is just really carrying the weight of that bullpen. It's going to be absolutely amazing coming off of the season that he just had with the Orioles and the Twins, which will be exciting. And to focus more on the other guys, Emilio Pagan, I think, I think will be a very, very good reliever for them this season, especially in the earlier innings when they need to hold the lead, not so much as close the door. I think that he will look very, very good this upcoming season. Just this bullpen is very solid. We're starting to get up there now in our rankings where you're going to see more complete teams, and I think that this is one of those more complete teams.
Yeah, I'm just this team as a whole has a lot of different factors and players that could just beat you.
Yeah.
I think they will definitely be better than last year. Last year they went 78 and 84. They're projected to go 80 and 82 this season. I think they're going over that. I think they're above 500 ball club. I think they'll do a lot better than people think, just because based on last season, a lot of people kind of assume. But they did have a lot of injuries last season. I'd like to see, full season of Buxton. There's a lot of things that this team would like to see this season, and I hope they get those things. If that makes any sense.
No, I get that, and I agree with you entirely.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the Twins this season, and I think Twins fans should also be really excited to watch the Twins this season, because there's a lot to look forward to, especially after getting Correa back. And I'm very disappointed that I did not order a Correa Twins jersey when he was with the Giants and the Mets.
Yeah, because they were on sale for like $40.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
It is what it is. But yeah, the next category we went to was energy. The energy of the Minnesota Twins. We gave it a... I take that back. Coaching. Did I say energy or coaching? We skipped coaching.
Oh my God.
Next category was coaching. Coaching, we gave a 7 out of 10. Rocco Baldelli is the manager of this club.
Has a good coaching staff. Hopefully they can help just pull everything together. I think that's all that I can really say about it.
Yeah, I think they need better trainers. I'm kidding. That was a Buxton joke. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry, Byron Buxton. But yeah, I think they have good coaching. Rocco Baldelli, I believe a couple years ago was in contention for manager of the year. He all around good manager, can bring a team to higher than their expectations, which I think is what is going to happen this season with the Twins. So we gave their coaching staff a 7 out of 10. And then finally, now moving on to their energy. We gave their energy a 7.9 out of 10. We were pretty high on their energy. I think this team with Correa is going to bring the energy every day. Buxton is one of the most energetic players when healthy. Their pitching staff, Joe Ryan, is about as energetic as it comes. Love Joe Ryan. Just especially those lights out relievers. I think they add to the energy for me. The Johan Duran and the Jorge Lopez. That when they are just coming in and just striking out guys, making guys miss, confusing the hitters, especially now with the pitch clock. If they can move faster and give the hitters less time to think, they're gonna use that to their advantage, and I think it's gonna be very dangerous. I'm very excited for the energy this club is gonna bring.
Oh yeah, they'll bring a hell of a lot of energy, and it's gonna be exciting to watch them. It'll definitely be one of those hype videos. Like when you get into the season, you're going to see a lot of hype videos about them because they are going to be quite the exciting team to watch.
I agree. Do you have a rookie report for this team, Lewis?
Of course I do. Hang on, let me just get it pulled up here. All right, so for the Twins, oh my God, the website is refreshing. Oh wait, okay, here we go. All right, so for the rookie report, I do want to shine some light on a guy that I have been high on and a guy that I thought was going to be their starter this upcoming season. However, they did re-sign Carlos Correa. The guy who I'm talking about is Royce Lewis, 23-year-old kid ranked 45th in MLB's top 100 prospects, which is good for second in the Minnesota Twins system. Last season, he played only at AAA, where he batted .313 with a .939 OPS, over the course of only 34 games, because I believe he went down with knee surgery, or with a knee problem which required surgery. Hit 5 bombs, 14 RBIs, struck out 32 times, but had 18 walks and 12 steals. I feel like Royce Lewis is just absolutely amazing. I think if that's why the Twins were so okay with letting Carlos Correa walk, is because they have this guy who very well could be I don't want to say the exact same version of Carlos Correa because he's a superstar, but Royce Lewis would have been an absolutely amazing replacement that could have formed into a Carlos Correa type of guy. So I'm hoping that we get to see him somehow, some way. I do remember he could play a little bit of the outfield. I believe he did last season when he got called up for just a couple of games. However, do want to watch him play more, and you should definitely all have him on your radar for this upcoming season.
All right, well, there we go. Looking forward to seeing him. Now that you've talked about him, makes me think that he will be starting to play the outfield a little more because they now have Correa for the next lot amount of years. So we'll see what happens there. Now the fun part, MVP hitter and MVP pitcher for this team. Who do you got as their MVP hitter?
I'm going Carlos Correa.
I'm also going to go Carlos Correa. I'd love to say Byron Buxton, but with his health concerns, I just don't know if he'll be able to stay healthy. So I'm going to go with Carlos Correa as well.
I agree.
MVP pitcher.
I'm going with Jorge Lopez.
Okay.
Who are you going with?
Wait, who are you going with?
Jorge Lopez.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm going to go with Joe Ryan.
Okay.
I think Joe Ryan comes out, beats the stud that he is this season.
All right, I like it. This will be a fun time to watch. Fun team.
And now, finally, the point of this episode, these episodes, I will say the 2023 Twins will be in, and you will tell me what place the 2023 Twins will be in. Lewis, the 2023 Minnesota Twins will be in
second place.
Second place.
AL Central.
That is also where I have them. Second place in the AL Central. It's going to be a good year. They're going to be trying to sneak into that wild card spot, and I think they probably will be making the playoffs this year. So yeah.
Yeah.
Minnesota Twins. Let's go Twins.
Let's go Twins.
And here's to a good year. I almost said yeezen. Here's to a good season. A good year. And yeah, we thank you guys for listening, watching. viewing, subscribing, commenting, sharing. Remember, you guys know your team better than we do, so let us know what you disagreed with, what you agreed with. Just let us know. And we will see you guys in the next Will Be. Peace.